Raynell. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to do the Caribbean crow pose, which is essentially just crow pose. But we're going to make it be a little bit more fun today. So for this video you might want a block. You're definitely going to want a block or maybe a couple books if you don't have a block, so you can stack them up to give yourself a little bit of height. And also you might want a strap. If you have a fear of falling on your face, please take a couple of blankets or pillows and make yourself a little crash landing site so that you can kind of overcome that fear a little bit right at the beginning in case you tilt over and accidentally crash. So this is all about overcoming that fear and coming into Bakasana crow pose. So let's stretch out our hips a little bit to begin with. Come down into a Malasana squat. So your feet might want to be a little bit wider than your mat, and then bring your hands to pray at your heart. Start to peel open your elbows and just let your shoulders drape down your back and breathe. So you're going to feel this in your hips pretty intensely. You can use your elbows to start to really work open your knees. Breathe. Just about 5 more breaths here. One more deep breath. And then gently release. Go ahead and come back down onto your knees and just take a little rest. Let your hips readjust. So next we're going to take our block and we're actually going to stand on our block. One of the hardest things about crow pose is being able to feel this lift through your belly. And so using the block, you're going to be able to start to feel this nice easy lift through your hips, and it's going to be a little bit easier to get up onto your hands. So go ahead and take your block, place it on your mat so it's on your sticky mat, and then we're going to go ahead and stand right onto the block. So bring your big toes together, stand on your block, and then start to bring your knees wide and sit down into that same squat. And maybe you want to stretch your arms out in front of you, stretch out your hips a little bit so you get used to being up high like this. Breathe here. We'll breathe for 5 breaths. Take one more nice deep breath. And then walk your hands back. Go ahead and come off of your block. Take a little rest. And then we're going to go right back on to the block and start to play with shifting our weight into our hands. Okay? All right, let's do this. So taking the block again, go ahead and step onto the block. Bring both of your big toes together to touch and bring your knees wide. So my big toes are touching, my knees come wide, and my palms are going to go right out in front of me. Okay? My gaze is going to be about a foot out in front of me. So I have a little bit of forward gaze. If I were to tuck my chin and look under, I would flip over and do a somersault. So we want to keep our gaze lifted. My hands come right underneath of me. I'm planting my palms super firmly, pressing down into the mat. And then I'm just going to start to lift my hips and work my knees up towards my armpits. They're more to the outside of my triceps, and I feel them hugging in, so they're pulling into the midline. I come up on my very, very tippy toes. I feel my elbows coming right over top of my wrists, and then I just point one toe and put it back down. And then I'm going to point the other toe and put it back down. And then maybe if I'm feeling brave, which you should be, point both of your toes and come up off of the block. Breathe. And then put one foot back down and then the other, and come off of your block and breathe and rest. So if you're finding in this crow pose that your elbows are slipping out from under you, you might want to take your strap and make a big loop. Let me see if I can do this really quick. And put it right around your elbows like this, which is going to prevent your elbows from slipping open. So that's an option if you're feeling like your elbows are coming out to the side, but we want to keep them hugging in towards the midline, nice and energetic and strong. Okay? So let's try this one more time, and then you can rest. So coming up onto your block, placing it nice and firmly. Bring your big toes together to touch. Open up your knees wide. Plant your palms firmly underneath of you. Start to work your elbows over top of your wrists. Your knees start to work themselves up into your armpits and they're pulling into the midline. They're squeezing together. And then point one toe and then the other. And breathe. One more deep breath. And then gently come down onto your block and rest. So come into a child's pose. You can bring your knees wide, sit back onto your heels, and stretch your arms out in front of you and relax. Take at least 10 breaths here. Take one more nice deep breath, and then gently walk your hands back. If you didn't lift up both of your feet, don't even stress about it. Yoga is a practice, and you're always coming back and trying again. So feel free to come back to this video anytime that you want to practice your crow pose and get over your fear of flying a little bit. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe for more videos just like this one, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.